Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Welcome back to another yoga session. So hopefully you are winding down your week and finishing with a nice, juicy, stretchy, relaxing, restorative yoga class. So if you're here with me, grab anything you might need, your yoga mat, a block or two if you've got anything like that, or even a blanket or a thick pillow could help. I am gonna be giving some options today for modifications, because this will be a slower, more restorative yoga class, so we can use those blocks and pillows and blankets to support us in each posture. So if you're ready, just come down and find a gentle seat, comfortable seat, wherever that may be for you. You may also just want to lie down for this first little opening meditation. Completely up to you. So once you've found that comfortable seat, closing the eyes, or maybe just softening the gaze. Feeling rooted down through both sits bones connected with the earth. And sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the spine, through the crown of the head. Nice long neck, so shoulders are relaxed and pulling away from the ears. Just feeling our body supported, yet structured. And now connecting inward to our breath. So stepping in that role of observer. Noticing how your breath is flowing in and out today. Not trying to change anything. Making no adjustments, just observing. Observing with the ease with which your breath flows in and out, without us even having to think about it. Nourishing every cell in your body. Now, as we expand that awareness to our breath, deepening the breath, so filling the belly, the diaphragm, the lungs, fully and expansively. Maybe pausing for a moment at the top of the breath to hold it just for a second. And then deeply exhaling. Everything out. Knowing that the breath is nourishing us with every inhale, sending oxygen to our muscles. Carrying out any tension with every exhale. Scanning your body now just to feel if you have any tightness or tension or gripping or stress, worry, anxiety that is manifesting in your body. Breathing that inhale in, just to soften those places. And letting the exhale carry the tightness away. Taking this moment to slow down, be present, be mindful. So enriching for our mind and our physical body, especially our nervous system. Now taking some deep cleansing breaths in together. So deeply inhaling through the nostrils, and then we're going to sigh it out through the mouth. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the back of the neck if we've lost any of that perfect posture. Deep inhale through the nostrils. Together we breathe in. Pausing at the top, and then take an extra sip, a little breath, extra breath in, and deeply sigh it out. And again, together we breathe in. Pausing at the top. Take another little sip in. Exhale, sigh it out. Last one together. Deep breath in. Extra sip at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Nice, and then just blinking open the eyes, bringing some movement to the fingers, to the wrists, to the shoulders. Waking up the body now, coming back into the physical body now that we're all grounded and centered and feeling good. We're going to switch the cross of your legs. If you are seated in a cross-legged position, switching the cross of your legs. If you're lying down or on a kneeling position, maybe you want to join us in a cross-legged position. And then we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, reach it forward. So just reaching the hands as far forward as you can. Noticing where you feel any tension. So for me, mostly I'm feeling this in my hips, especially the leg that's crossed in front. I'm feeling it a little more in that deep outer hip. So just scanning your body, it may be different for everyone. Maybe you've got some tightness in the lower back. Maybe in the thighs, the quads, or maybe even the upper back. So now we're gonna lengthen through our spine, inhale, and then exhale, just round it forward. Letting that head, neck, and shoulders totally release. And this is a good place to put a block. You can place your elbows or forearms on the block just to bring the earth up a little bit higher, or you can stack 2 blocks and rest your forehead. That feels good. Just figuring out what works for you so you can totally relax. One more deep breath here. And then gently walking the hands back, coming up to a nice tall seated position. This time we're going to switch the cross of those legs once again. So your other leg is more forward or maybe right on top, depending on how you're comfortably seated. And then we're going to inhale, sweep both arms up again. Exhale, reach it forward. So this first forward fold, we're just taking a nice long spine. Okay, so I don't want you to collapse just yet. Keeping the spine long and noticing where you feel it. So again, I feel this super deeply into my left hip of the leg that is forward. So that's my left leg. And just breathing space there. Breathing space into any tightness. And then we're going to inhale, find length. So really reaching the crown forward so you feel a nice long spine from head to tailbone. And then exhale. letting the upper body rest completely over the legs. And when you're ready, walking those hands back up to a seated position. This time we're going to shift our feet into a butterfly position. So feet kissing together, bottoms of the feet kissing together, knees nice and wide. Again, feeling grounded through both sits bones. So find that, you want to wiggle from side to side so you're feeling that both sits bones on the ground. So one's not kind of leaning to one side. And feel free to add a pillow or a blanket or a block here, supporting the knees. So then you don't feel like you're straining to keep those knees up. They can totally relax. So that feels really good. Now I don't feel it as intensely in my hips. So maybe you want to add some support on your knees. And then we're just going to massage through the bottoms of the feet. So taking our thumbs and just kind of kneading along the toes, along the balls of the feet, the arches, the heels. Sending some love to the bottoms of our feet that don't really get too much love, do they? But they sure do a lot for us all day long. Nice kneading massage. And when you're ready, find stillness. Sit up nice and tall. And we're going to sweep our right hand up, crossing to our left knee. Left arm up, crossing to our right knee. And just reaching the chest forward. So we're feeling a little deeper shoulder stretch. Holding here for a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, unwind, coming back through center, releasing both hands. Maybe take a couple shoulder circles to the back. And then sweeping left arm up and over, crossing, landing on the right knee. Inhale, right arm up to the opposite knee. And again, rounding forward. Shoulder stretch, maybe even feeling something through the lower back, upper hips. Connecting back to that breath. And when you're ready, coming back through center, unwinding the arms and removing any support that you had underneath of your knees. And then we're going to extend both legs straight out, nice and long, into a nice wide straddle. So if you'd like to turn and face the long side of your mat like I am, or if you've got space in the front, totally fine. Sitting up nice and tall. We're going to inhale, sweep the left arm up, reaching over to the side, the right side. Bicep right along the ear. Energy shooting out through those left fingertips, keeping the heart and chest shining forward so we're not rounding and collapsing. Stay nice and open to the front of your mat. Breathing expansion into that side body. One more deep inhale. And then we're going to just rotate to face the right leg and round over. So now our torso, our chest, our heart is facing the leg, the knee. And this is a good place, another good place for a block. Stacking it up high, you can rest your head. You could grab 2 blocks or 2 pillows and put them on either side of your leg. So you're just resting your arms there. Just to feel super supported so you can let the upper body, neck, and shoulders go. As you breathe into the pose. So do what feels good here. Always trying to find our edge in yoga. So not pushing it so far that we're feeling pain or sharp or shooting pain should never be the goal. But we do want to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So maybe flexing through that right heel if you're super stretchy, or if you're a little more sticky and not as hinged forward as I am. Keep that right heel flexed or that right toe flexed, and you'll feel it a little more in the calf, hamstring and calf. So wherever you are, breathing space into the back of the leg. One more deep inhale. And deep exhale, coming back up through center, rotating the shoulders and torso to the front of the mat, squaring off the hips. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over to the left side. Expanding through that right side body. Keeping the chest, heart shining forward, nice and open. Right arm long. Energy coming out through those right fingertips. One more deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then rotating to face that leg. Hinging over. Just finding what feels good here. So if you used props on the other side, that might feel great on this side as well. Each side may feel a little different. May feel a little more tightness on one side, and that is perfectly normal because we're human. Breathing and stretching. So anytime we're resting in a pose or we're holding a pose, maybe it doesn't feel like we're resting, but anytime we're holding a pose for more than 1 or 2 breaths, we really just want to connect to that breath. So this is a good place to tune back in, connect back to that breath. Maybe thinking of a special intention every time we're holding a pose. Maybe just sending love to a different person each time we're holding a pose. One more deep inhale. And deep exhale walks us back up through center. Now we're going to move with our breath. So inhale, sweeping both arms up. Exhale to the right. Inhale brings us back through center. Exhale, other side. Exhale, lengthen. So as we inhale, we're sweeping up through center. As we exhale, we're reaching and lengthening. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, reach and lengthen. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, reach and lengthen. One more time to the other side. Inhale. Feeling super grounded through both sits bones still. Exhale. Walk those hands around through center. Little extra stretch. And then walk your hands back in to center. Shaking out the legs, just shimmy and shake them so they're coming together in front of you. Feel free to shake them out. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, sweep both arms up, flexing through the toes. Pull the toes towards the shins. Exhale, reach it forward. So trying to keep those toes flexed If you can't reach the toes, that's totally fine. But we're keeping a nice long spine here, so we're just hinging at the hips. Feeling a deep stretch through the backs of the legs, through the calves. And then this is a good place to bring a prop to either side of the legs, or maybe stacking them on top of the legs, because we're just going to let the upper body rest and forward fold. Whatever feels good for you. Trying to keep those feet flexed if you can. Staying mindful. Staying present. One more deep breath. And your exhale brings you back up to a seated position. Return those props to the side of your mat. And then we're just going to shift over to one side of our hips. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, and shift the hips up into our first downward facing dog. So I think I've said this before, but your downward facing dog, the goal here is to make it feel like a home base. So as always, the first downward facing dog, we're going to feel that stickiness. We're going to feel a little tightness through the backs of the legs. So feel free to find some motion. Pedaling the legs out. And when you're ready, find stillness. Check in with your downward dog form. So generously bending through the knees if that feels good. The heels do not have to come in contact with the mat. We're really, really pressing through each fingertip. Okay, so taking some pressure off the palms, pressing through each fingertip, reaching those hips back toward the back corner of the room. Feeling that spine lengthen and the back muscles nice and long. And then we're just going to look forward to the front of our mat. Slowly taking baby steps, walking the feet all the way to the hands. Coming into our forward fold, so feet about hip width distance apart. Maybe a little wider if you're pregnant like me. That might feel better, creating some space for that baby. And again, generously bending through the backs of the knees. You want to be reaching belly towards the thighs. So that is the goal here. Lengthening the spine so much that your belly is energetically reaching towards the thighs. Maybe even coming into contact, but that can come later. Releasing through the neck, shaking the head no. Shaking the head yes, just to completely release that cervical spine. And then grabbing opposite elbows, coming into ragdoll. Letting gravity help us a little bit here. Just swaying side to side. A little to the right, a little to the left. Find what feels good. And then we're going to find stillness. Plant that left hand. Peel the right hand to the heart. And then further twisting open to the side of the room. Right arm up toward the ceiling. Try to find that gaze, or the gaze should find the fingertips rather. So all the way up if you can. One more breath here. Exhale, float those hands back down to the earth. Planting the right hand in the center of your mat. Peeling that left hand to the heart. Twisting open to the left side. Open the left hand to the ceiling. One more deep breath. Exhale, float the left hand down. Beautiful. We're going to take an inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to your shins or your thighs, finding length through the spine. Nice long neck from head to tailbone. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, grounding through both feet. Sweeping the arms overhead, hands meet overhead, come down through heart center and prayer, and then opening up to the front of the mat in mountain pose. Feeling grounded here. And then inhale, you reverse that, swim the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, coming into low lunge. The hands should be framing the foot, hinging the hips forward and shining the heart forward. So we don't want to be collapsed and rounded here. We want to try to find length, rolling the shoulders back and down, shining the heart forward. This is another good place to have blocks if you need to bring the earth up to you just a little bit higher so we can feel a little more supported and not so strained. Totally up to you. Shift the hips back, flexing through the left foot, straightening out that left leg, coming into Ardha Hanuman, half splits pose, holding for 2 breaths here. And then on your next inhale, shifting forward back into our low lunge. Plant the hands, step the left foot back to meet the right, shift the hips back, downward facing dog. Creating space into the back body here. 3 more breath cycles. When you're ready, looking forward to the front of your mat, walking those feet up towards the hands, hanging here in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep the arms all the way up, overhead, coming to standing. Hands meet in prayer, coming down through heart center, opening forward to the mat, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, bending through the knees, the hips, sending the hips back, forward fold. This time, step the left foot back, coming into our low lunge, so dropping the knee, shining the heart forward. Just focusing on our breath here. Deep inhales, deep exhales, noticing where you may feel any tightness. Where do you feel it the most sensation here? And then on your next inhale, shifting that hips back, flexing through the right foot, straightening out the right leg. Still finding length through the spine so we're not collapsed. Using those back muscles, using those core muscles. The core muscles wrap from the front and the back. Pulling the navel to the spine. Maybe your lower belly is not active. Let's check. And then inhaling, shifting forward, bending back into that right leg. Plant the hands, framing the foot, tuck the back toe, lift the knee, step that right foot back, downward facing dog. We're going to take that same sequence just a little bit quicker this time. So inhale, looking forward to the front of our mat. Baby steps, keeping the legs as straight as possible. Walk the feet to meet the hands. This time we're going to really try to stretch through the back of the legs. Join me here in gorilla pose. We're going to slide the palms of our hands face up underneath of our feet. And still, your option to generously bend through the knees. That's totally fine. But we're really trying to find a deep stretch through the back of the legs, keeping the spine nice and lengthened, nice and long. Breathing here. One deep inhale. One deep exhale. And then gently releasing those hands, coming into our halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. All the way up. Exhale, releasing the hands down by the side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hinge the hips back, forward fold. Plant the hands, step the right foot back, coming into low lunge. Shifting the hips forward, shining the heart forward. Feeling expansion happening through that right quad, the thigh, the hip flexor. On your next exhale, shifting the hips back, flexing the left toes. Inhale, bend through the left leg, shift forward, plant the hands, tuck the toes, stepping left foot back to meet the right, shifting into our downward facing dog. Let's take that again on the other side since it felt so juicy and good on that side this time. Inhale, look forward to the front of your mat. Walk those feet to meet the hands. Gorilla pose. Slide the left palm and the right palm underneath the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Hold here for a breath. Exhale, release the palms. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Sweep the hands up. Exhale. Bend the heart forward. Hands come down by your side. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Left foot steps back. Low lunge. Connecting to your breath here. Connecting to that core too. So we don't just want to be dumping into the right leg and the left hip. Pull the navel toward the spine. Very active lower core. Exhale, shift the hips back, straightening out through the right leg. Ardha Hanuman, half splits. Breathing space into the back of the right leg. Keep those toes flexed toward the ceiling. Inhale, shift it forward. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, step back, downward facing dog. One more breath in downward facing dog. And then gently, when you're ready, bringing the knees to the floor, shifting over to one side of your hip, swinging the feet around to the front of your mat, and then coming all the way down to your back. Rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then hugging the right knee into your chest. Extending that left leg nice and long. Hugging it in, knee as close to that shoulder as you can. And then on your next exhale, extend that leg toward the ceiling. Flexing through the foot to get a little more intense stretch. Maybe taking some ankle circles. Reversing that direction. And then opening wide. So letting that leg turn out slightly, but really reaching the leg towards the shoulder. Maybe placing your other hand on that left hip. So you can just gently remind yourself not to let the hip roll with it. Keep that hip pressing down to the floor. And your next inhale, walking that leg all the way over across the body, so keeping it straight. Maybe assisting yourself with that left hand, holding it, propping it up, or using an actual prop, pillows, blankets, or a block. Striving to keep that right shoulder on the ground. One more deep breath. And then bringing that leg back in, bending through the knee. Hug that knee in one more time. And then releasing it all the way to the floor. Inhale, sweep that right knee up. Hug it in. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Extending the legs straight to the ceiling. And some ankle rolls. Whatever feels good. And maybe just flexing through that foot. And then opening that leg out towards your shoulder when you're ready. Holding here, breathing space. And then rotating that leg, crossing the body. Maybe helping your leg stay supported with your right hand. Otherwise, you can use a block or a prop. And inhale, sweep that leg back up through center. Hugging that knee in one last time. And let's actually hug both legs in this time. Giving yourself a nice big hug. Maybe rotating from side to side, rocking through the hips, massaging through the lower back. And then let that left foot find the floor. Cross the right ankle over. And if this feels good, feels like a deep enough stretch for you, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, if you'd like a little bit more intensity, you're going to sweep that right knee up to the chest and reach the arms through the little keyhole, hugging the legs closer to the chest. You can catch behind the back, the hamstring, the back of the left leg, or you can even catch the front of that shin. If that feels good, that's a little deeper. Find your edge, find what feels good. Breathing here. And gently releasing the bind, releasing the legs to the earth. Uncrossing the right leg, and then crossing that left ankle up and over the right thigh. Holding here if this feels good. Otherwise, you're reaching the arms through, hugging the knees to the chest. Breathing into any tightness that you may feel. And then when you're ready, releasing the bind, releasing the foot to the floor. Uncrossing the legs, and let's just windshield wiper those legs side to side. Noticing how your hips feel. And then extending your left foot to the left corner of your mat. And your right foot to the right corner of your mat. Coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Let those arms just lay along your side. They can be palms up if you're inviting energy from the universe, or palms down if you'd like a more restorative Shavasana. Taking a moment here to let the mind and the body just completely rest. When you're ready, coming back into your physical body, deepening the breath, maybe wiggling your fingers and your feet, stretching your arms overhead like this is the first time you've waken up today, hugging those knees into your chest, and then rocking to one side. Letting the long arm and bicep support your head. Pausing here for a moment to feel grounded. And then when you're ready, pressing up to a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Bringing your hands to your knees, or maybe heart center. And just coming into a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for your body, that you're able to move it and it's able to support you in the way it does. Gratitude that you took this time out for yourself today, for self-care, physical and mental. And gratitude for the other people practicing with us, though we may not be able to see them. Sending love. And then bringing your thumbs to your third eye center, your seat of intuition. Bowing our heads in honor and recognition of everyone we practice with, everyone that's practiced before us and will to come. The light and soul in me honors and recognizes that beautiful light and soul in each and every one of you. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. I hope you all feel nice and relaxed and stretched out. And if you're doing this on a Friday, then have a wonderful weekend. Help this peaceful serenity that you've created carry throughout the rest of your week, the rest of your day, whatever that day may be. Bring. Thank you guys. See you in my next video. Bye guys.